You just started as a BDR at Service Titan, a great tech company. I want to talk about your journey breaking into tech sales so that anyone listening can increase their odds of also breaking into tech sales, no matter their background or not having experience, degrees, whatever. So why don't you talk about what was the moment you decided you wanted to break into tech sales?
I didn't know that I wanted to break into tech sales until I saw my wife. She actually enrolled in Course Careers and she completed the course. And seeing her land a job like 2 months after Course Careers really excited me. We're both
Yeah.
entrepreneurs. And so I was looking for, opportunity to work from home, trying to figure out what can I create to work from home because we want to start a family. And I said, you know what? My wife is successful inside of this industry. So why don't I give it a try? And so I enrolled in Course Careers. I completed the Course Careers program too as well, and landed a job a month after. Of course, it took applying strategically to companies on my top list. And and the rest is history.
What was the moment? Was there a breaking point where you decided I need to change what I'm doing today? Or is it more of if I don't change, things are just not going to work out for me and my family?
That's a great question, Trent. So for me, that moment was I was doing DoorDash and Instacart, and I knew that I could not keep this up for long. There were things happening with our car, and for me, I'm like, I cannot continue to do this. What is that thing that's going to get me out of this? And the answer always came back to tech sales. And so that was the pivotal moment for me, sitting in my car, remembering looking at a text from a customer who was complaining. I'm like, I don't make that much money to be like dealing with this. So if I'm going to deal with this, why not deal with it while making, what I'm worth, right? And so that was the transitional part for me. And then on top of that, me being an entrepreneur, having that entrepreneurial mindset, I was like, in order for me to be successful in that particular area, I need to bring in some substantial amount of income. And tech sales does that for me. So,
Why Course Careers?
well, for me, it's the testimonials, it's the results, right? And so I'm a results driven guy. And so anytime I hear people who have taken the course and I'm seeing people like myself, right? Like who look like me. And I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. Because we always have these preconceived notions, right? And it's a part of growth. But for me, it was Course Careers was it. It was the cost one, right? Because anytime you're pivoting to something, you want to make sure that one, the cost is sufficient enough for you to actually be able to afford it. Two, seeing my wife, do it. And I said, if she can do it, I can do it. The success rate for the people that I've spoken to is really high. So Course Careers was a no-brainer for me.
How did you manage to land a job a month after the program?
That's a great question, Trent. So for me, I was very strategic. You know, I have a set of values that I live by, and the companies that I did apply for, I said to myself that I have to love the product, right? Two, I have to be okay with uh, the culture too as well. And I can unpackage that in so many ways, but for the purpose of like time, for me, it was just all about being strategic. After I finished the course, I was confident that I can land a job if I apply the information that I was taught at the course. And so I picked 3 companies. Now, here's the deal. My first interview, Trent, I bombed completely. I'm telling you, and I want to like share that because somebody might be saying, hey, it took him a month to land a role, but they don't know the backstory behind it, right? And so the great thing about Course Careers is that first, that graduate portal is a game changer. It's a game changer. So once you complete the course, you're able to have a whole new set of instructions, information to help you break into tech. So I utilized that. Bombed my first interview. I had another interview set up. I declined that one because I said, you know what? I have to get prepared. This is not a game. I am about to land a job. And Trent, head down, just going over all the information again, going over my stories, behavioral questions. And my third and final company that was on my top list got interviewed, smashed the interview, and I'm super excited to be a part of that company for sure.
You're at a legit company, and I want to talk about that.
Yes.
Why did you bomb the interview, or what did that mean?
So for me, I wasn't prepared. I came in thinking that I can use just, the tools that I've learned inside of the program versus understanding that it's not just about getting the information, it's about applying the information, right? And so for me, that first interview, I wasn't prepared, and it's only my fault because I came in, I said, you know what, I'm gonna just use my personality, And here's the thing: we were properly prepared at Course Careers, right, of how interviews would go, and getting prepared with those behavioral questions too as well. And so it was boiled down to the fact that I just came unprepared, and that's it. It was on me.
Sure. And you had a great LinkedIn post talking about getting a DM, someone mentioned, and there might be an echo. So for anyone that hears the echo, good. You can hear me talk twice. So anyone that's struggling to find the job, you have 5 tips for increasing the chances. Tailor the resume, optimize the LinkedIn profile, reach out to hiring managers, network, practice interview skills, whole call decision makers.
Yes.
Talk about some of these different tips and what that actually looked like for you.
Absolutely. So inside of the graduate portal, it's amazing because you get a chance to connect with different tools, hunters, to build resumes. I believe I'm saying that particular tool right. Apollo, you have your sales data tool, so you can actually look for hiring managers, decision makers. And so one thing that I did was I created a cadence. It was very aggressive. So my day one was LinkedIn connection, email, cold call with a voicemail and text, right? I found the information inside of Apollo. Day 2, my LinkedIn message, another cold call with a voicemail. Day 3, LinkedIn message, email with video. Day 5, email with target outreach strategy. And day 7, email. And that was the last email that I would send if I didn't receive any, feedback or anything like that back. But all 3 companies that I applied into, I received interviews for, and so the strategy works.
So you're saying you called and emailed people at these companies you wanted to work for multiple times.
Absolutely.
And that increased your odds of getting the interviews. And you got 3 for 3 for all the ones you wanted to speak with.
100%. Yes.
That's the secret right there. That's hidden in plain sight that most people aren't willing to do. The average person will actually just apply to 30 companies without putting in any effort beyond that. Whereas you said, I'll apply to 3 companies I really want to work for and do whatever it takes to get an interview with them. How did you know, or what gave you the confidence to only apply to 3-5 companies rather than the mass apply approach, which is, I think, the common wisdom?
Well, one, Course Careers gave me the confidence that I needed to know that I could break into this industry, right? And so utilizing those particular tools and understanding the value that I can bring to any company, and also knowing that this process is not just about me finding the perfect opportunity, it's also about that company finding the perfect candidate, right? Well, not the perfect candidate, right? Because nobody's perfect. Right. But it's about a company finding a candidate that's willing to go that extra mile as well as know the information. And so for me, I needed to be strategic. And just to be honest, applying to 20 companies was a little bit difficult for me because I said to myself, I know I want to go that extra mile. doing the prospecting and really focusing on researching into the company. And so, just to be perfectly transparent with you, Trent, what I did was I applied to a company a week, right? So, let's say, for instance, I applied to X company. I would then do my cadences, day 1, day 2, all the way to day 7 aggressively. And then I would, of course, get that interview. And then the second week, do the same thing, recycle the same thing. So that's pretty much what I did in a nutshell.
What's the household like with you, your wife now in tech sales? Is she happy? What's going on?
Trent, let me tell you something. My wife is ecstatic. She's excited. I'm excited. And we've been chasing our dreams for 9 years. And this opportunity inside of tech has given us a great opportunity to not just pursue our dreams, but do it with the ease of knowing that we have income coming in, right? And and that's the great thing about it. So she's excited, I'm excited, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing.
Is it fully remote?
Yes, it's fully remote, 100% remote.
Yeah, pairing the dual income fully remote. It's a great place to be in. It creates a lot of leverage because you're fully remote. There's real money coming in, and then there's that longevity and trajectory ahead of it. So long as there's results and performance, like you said, ultimately results is all that matter. Can you talk about what the first few days have been since you started as BDR Service Titan? I see your videos of you doing unboxings here and photos and all this stuff. What's going on since you started?
Absolutely. So since I started, this week has been all about onboarding and training. And let me tell you something that has been amazing. I'm in a SaaS company, so I sell SaaS software. And it's amazing because SaaS is so complex. However, it's so intriguing to me. And so this week has been all about onboarding and learning the company. And then next week I get into the product training. So I'm excited about that.
What are your goals for the first maybe 3-6 months in this new role?
Well, my goal is to master the BDR role, right? I have a career path that I want to follow behind, but my goal realistically is to truly focus on being a great BDR, performing really well and exceeding my goals.
Okay. And can you talk about that dynamic of, I think a lot of people, they think, oh, I'm in my mid to late 20s, early 30s. It's too late for me. And I don't know how old you are or your whole path DoorDash to this point, but can you talk about your experience of following sort of a non-traditional way into a pretty solid software company?
Yes. So I don't have a degree. I do have credits at a college, right? But the great thing about this, if you don't need a degree, and just to be transparent, I'm 40 years old. And I just I just wanted to share that. So no matter where you are, no matter who you are, if you have the grit, if you're willing to take a course like Course Careers and grow and develop and become coachable and be okay with pivoting into an industry that you might not be comfortable with at the moment, but programs like Course Careers really help you to become confident in pivoting into such a career such as tech.
Beyond the graduate portal and Course Careers that you talked about, what else did you learn tangibly that you thought was useful in helping you land the job?
Absolutely. Well, I would say a deeper understanding of the technical terms associated with the role. I feel if you're going to really be confident during the interview process, knowing technical terms is going to be really, really important. Knowing what a CRM is, knowing what a sales, knowing what a engagement tool is, knowing all that right there will give you the confidence to land these particular interviews and crush them too as well. So I believe I answered the question. If I didn't, you can further ask whatever you want to ask.
What advice do you have for someone out there listening that maybe they're doing DoorDash or Uber in and they're dealing with some rude person and they're like, it would take me the same amount of time and effort to just go get in tech sales, but make more money and go to work from home. What advice would you have for that person that's looking to make a change?
Absolutely. Well, one thing that I would say for those who are looking to make a change is get comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? Because to make a change is uncomfortable, period. And me coming from DoorDash, even though I have 9 years of sales experience, it's in a completely different industry, completely different type of. It's to C,
See,
right? So get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I can say so much, but that was the biggest advice that I would give anybody. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Know that you have programs out here that can help you if you're not confident about pivoting into a different industry such as tech. For me, I did lack the confidence, but when I started course careers, completed the program, my confidence was here. And that's the advice that I would give anybody. So be comfortable being uncomfortable, right? And understand that it's okay not to know because you have programs out here like Course Careers that can help you land a tech sales role.
Well, Milton, it's an amazing story. I'm happy for you and your wife. There's another couple, the Worthens, that he ended up at Intel, and I'm not sure where his wife is at, but it's just so cool to see that whole household transformation
Absolutely.
and completely changing industry, and it changes the dynamics of everything. So I'm excited for what's ahead for you. I know you're early in your journey, but you completed the first result of getting the job. Now you'll face even greater challenges trying to master the role as a BDR. So thanks so much for being here today and sharing your story.
Thank you, Trent. And can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Be curious. I remember you telling me that, Trent, you actually put it in a message, right? You probably don't remember. You commented, always be curious. Right. And so I just wanted to share that before we left. So be curious.
I like that. Most people are saying ABC always be closing, ABC always be curious.
Yes, exactly.
Boom. Right on. Well, stay curious, everyone. You can get extra curious in the link in the description below with the free tech sales intro course. We'll see you there. Bye, Milton.
Bye-bye, Trent. Thank you so much.